me and my husband went to one, and we were kind of having like a bad, bad day. We were kind of arguing and stuff like that. And so
Yeah,
we go to this meeting and we're hearing, these women share about like, oh, and I got to see my kids for the first time in 2 months. Oh, and I'm
dude. And
graduating my program, and oh, I'm trying to find a place to live, and I'm just like, oh wow, well, maybe our problems aren't, you know what I mean, as grand
right,
you know what I mean? Like we forget what it's like.
we do. And that's why the newcomers are so important. We can't keep what we have unless we give it away. And if there's no newcomer, I mean, we can give it away to other people because you can always learn something from somebody. But um, newcomers are who we need to remember what it was like, to not make those mistakes again, to help with at least some words of advice and a hug. I hug every single person that comes in the room. And I've had a pat on the back from that. I'm not even sharing about the pat on the back, but dude, I've had several people say, I didn't feel comfortable here until Shelly gave me a hug, and now I feel good. You know, um, Nobody does that anymore. Nobody hugs people that they don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes me sad because I thought that's what the program was about, you
Yeah,
know?
there's definitely been a lot of changes and a lot
Hmm.
more I call it just distraction, but division and segregation, because of
Yep.
pathways and whatever, and you know what I mean, like that, like we are called to, to love each other and to help each other, and that's what
Yep.
we're supposed to do no matter what. So um really, like in the rooms, I feel like it definitely has changed, like since I came in like 2015, where people used to stand
Yeah.
at the door. There was someone who stand at the door, hey, how are you today?
That's what I do. That's what I do. And it makes me sad. And even, and I'm not trying to bitch about NA or AA, but like you'll have your newcomers come in and nobody talks to them after except for me. And they're mostly guys. I can't be their sponsor.
Right.
I can be their trusted friend, but it makes me sad because where we're at, people are lacking. And so I always step up and welcome those newcomers. Even though I can't be their sponsor, they need to know that they're loved regardless of what's going on in the room.
Right, absolutely.
And
So you came in, did you go through a treatment program, or did you just start going to meetings?
no, I just it's kind of a funny story. I have a meth house next door. It used to be a meth house. And there was a young lady that was 24 and her boyfriend or fiance that was 23, and they had a little 2-year-old girl. Well, on Christmas night, it was snowing, and the lady that lived upstairs with her husband kicked them out in the middle of the night with their 2-year-old little girl. And so we let them stay in the basement. And the 24-year-old was a wet brain. And I hate to say that, but she, at 24, she'd been drinking since she was 11. And hopefully she gets better, but it was bad. And then her fiance was using meth. So even though I'm using Coke, I thought I'm going to take it for recovery. I'm going to help them. I don't need help, but I'm going to help them. And I took them. Then they stopped going, and I kept going. And I started in November, the middle of November. And like I said, I quit December 31st. So meeting makers do make it if you just keep going back. You'll eventually be like, I don't like this life. These people have a really good life. I don't want this life, you
Mhm.
know? And that's what's so important about that program.
And I love how December 31st is your day, because it's like such an amazing holiday. Like, what a way to start off like a new year.
Right?
Not just a new year, but this is going to be a new life, a new season
Right.
for me. That is
And
something.
it has been, dude. It has been. I mean, I still have my mental problems because I'm whatever they want to diagnose me with this week. I have a ton. Anyway,
Same
no,
here.
it's hard, when you do drugs. See, I was on the same meds, mental meds, for 15 years. I relapsed for 6 months, and now my meds don't work the same. Um, they don't work anywhere close to the same. I was never suicidal And see, I was terminally ill too from 2010 to 2016. Never suicidal through any of that time. I had never had a suicidal thought since 2004. And then I got in recovery, and you know how everything boils to the surface that you've been pushing down with drugs and alcohol. Well, that threw me for a loop. But um, I'm learning that even though you're in recovery, things will throw you for a loop. And it's all how we look at it. So, you know,
Absolutely. And so you said that you were married.
25 years.
Okay. Give me some wisdom.
Dude, let me tell you, I met him in Wendover at a blackjack table. And there was like 60 people around our table because I had everybody holding hands and cheering, and not one person busted. The blackjack, the lady busted every single time. And then she's to me and Bill, she's like, "Oh, you two get married." And we're like, "We don't even know each other." "Oh, you two get married." And so since that day on, we've been together every single day, except when I had to go to Bethesda, Maryland to the Undiagnosed Disease Center for 2 weeks. And when I testified against child predators, I used to work with Dateline to catch a predator. I don't
Oh,
know if you've ever seen
really?
those shoes. Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
that's so what so you worked with like their online team?
No, we were called Perverted Justice. And before anybody knew about us,
I feel
we in
like
the
I've
first
heard of
two
that.
lines, huh?
I feel like I've heard of that.
Probably in the first two lines, we'd always say our name, age, and sex location, so we didn't entrap anybody. And finally, we started doing Bust with Dateline. Well, the first three shows that aired, there were no police there. Police would never help us because we were vigilantes. And then Dateline got involved, and America went in an uproar seeing all this, going, "Why aren't the police there? What is going on?" Because this was in 91, or excuse me, 2001. When you're first getting your home computers in the house, and parents had no idea that their kids were being groomed. And that's when the police got involved. And they didn't do anything. They just booked them. We gave them all the information and everything. But I also helped train ICAC, which is Internet Crimes Against Children. That came after Dateline. I worked hand in hand with Senator Orrin Hatch to pass the National Sex Offender Registry. So, yeah, I've done some good things in my life.
Wow.
Hopefully it makes up for the bad things.
Yeah, I mean, but talk about, turning your your pain into purpose. I mean, nobody was able to help you at that time, but you
Right.
have gone and helped all of these people now and put all of this stuff in place so that children don't have to go through the same things that you went through. So,
Right. Right. And that's a scary thing is I was just talking to a few guys. How many guys are out there talking to how many kids?
mm,
Dude, it's terrifying.
mhm.
So,
Yeah, it is. I know of a guy in Athens that does that as well, and he was having just so much trouble trying to get the police involved and stuff like that. So,
well, not everybody does it legally.
mhm,
See, what's scary with the police is logs can be changed. But the thing with us and why they trusted us so much is because we have backed up logs in two different states. So it couldn't be messed with.
right,
It was pure evidence.
right.
So, and
Wow.
we stopped doing it because a district attorney got caught and he killed himself. So there was lawsuits with Dateline, and that's why it ended.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So the district attorney got caught trying to lure a child.
And then he killed himself. So the rest of those people, in that area sued Dateline,
Mm.
but they didn't win. They didn't win, but still.
Wow. So what do you do now? What is Shelly's life like now?
Um, I help people. That's my main thing that I do. Um, I love photography and traveling and being with my husband. I work in beauty, health, and wellness. It's just kind of a little business that I do. Sometimes people pay me to go shopping for them, like $100, and I go buy them like 2 outfits and a pair of shoes, and that'll cost me like $30 at Savers. And they know it. They just want to dress like me. So
Hey, that's
I get
okay
my clothes.
though. You do have fabulous eyelashes.
Thank you. Thank you. They're strip on, they come off.
I can never do those myself.
Dude, it took a lot of practice. It took a lot of practice to figure out how to do that.
Today you are a wife and do you have any goals or inspirations in the future to open up any kind of, recovery organization or
Yes,
center?
I do. I'm hoping to get famous on YouTube like everybody else. Um, but if it does come to that, I'm going to open a recovery house. I'd really like to. Other than that, I want to open a business that would be called Shelly's Oddities. And there'd be like skulls and like dead people's parts. I love the dead. I drive a hearse. Okay.
Okay, cool. That's super cool. You're gonna have to send me a picture of that for the thumbnail.
Absolutely.
Do
Oh, let me.
do you know about USARA?
USARA.
Yes.
I am familiar with the name. I have not worked with them at all yet. I plan on it because they have some meetings there that are nowhere else. And I know that they're a great facility. When they first opened up, I went and got some Narcan from them,
Mhm.
just because I go to so many meetings and I like to have it in all my cars. So if somebody is having a problem, I can help them.
Yes, so which is so important. Carrying Narcan, being
Yep.
educated how to use it, it is so, so important. So USARA, the people who created USARA got certified as recovery coaches through Georgia Council on Substance Abuse, which is where I am certified through. So we went through training together, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, so I
Nice.
a little bit about you, Sarah, and I've been to some of their virtual trainings and stuff that they do. They're a great organization, so you should definitely link up with them for
But
sure.
see, they work a 12-step program because I heard a rumor that they don't.
They are multiple pathways, so they're open to everything.
Okay, okay, okay.
Definitely.
That's the only thing that's kept me away is because I don't want another program. I want my 12-step program.
Right. We'll see you next time on Recovery Inspired Hope. Make sure you subscribe to Jamie Tall on YouTube, and we will see you soon.